When students get along with native English speakers, there are many factors that can influence their communication qualities. In following aspects, would you please give us some suggestions? For example, while in classrooms, in office hours, or in their studies, what should students notice when they talk with or get along with professors?
First of all, I would like to suggest to students address their professors by their first names. The professors generally prefer informal relationships and a minimum acknowledgement of status differences. For example, for Professor John Smith, you can call him John in a normal situation, Professor Smith on a formal occasion, but not Mr. Smith or Teacher Smith or John, Teacher John in the Chinese way. Secondly, ask professors questions, as many as possible, and challenge them in the class. Americans and the British teachers generally expect the students to ask them questions or even challenge what they say in the class. Teachers do not generally assume they know all there is to know of a subject or topic, nor do they assume they invariably explain things clearly. Students who want clarification or additional information are expected to ask for it during the class, or just after class ends, or during the office hours. Students who do not ask questions may be considered uninterested or uncommitted. The next suggestion is never negotiate for higher grades. While most teachers welcome students' questions or comments about the materials being covered in the course, they do not welcome students' efforts to negotiate for higher grades. Teachers normally believe they have an acceptable system for determining the grades, and they respond very negatively to students who try to talk to them into raising a grade. Some students, particularly ones from countries where negotiating is a habit, severely damage their reputations and teachers' eyes by trying to bargain for better grades. Another suggestion is always avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism means copying the words of another writer into your own paper without acknowledging where the ideas come from. This is the worst practice the students can do. Never, never, never do it, because scholars' writings and ideas are considered their intellectual property. Plagiarism is regarded as stealing, cheating, or anything bad. And also plagiarism is considered as a cardinal sin in the Western academic world. One more suggestion is meeting the deadline. When professors give students assignments, for instance, like writing a paper or writing a report or reading some books, they always give students the deadline. For example, if the professor says, your paper is due by 11 o'clock next Monday morning, he means it, and also you have to finish writing the paper and submit your paper by 11 o'clock next Monday morning.
In the daily life, or in a group discussion, or at a party, how to talk with classmates and friends, how to get involved and feel part of a team.
First, I would say being direct and assertive. Americans often say, let's get to the point, or please speak up, or please say what's on your mind. These and many other common phrases convey the American ideas that people should explicitly state what they think and what they want from other people. Secondly, be punctual. Most Americans would feel offended if you are more than 10 or 15 minutes late for a meeting, for an appointment, or social engagement. If you must be late, try to inform the right person in advance. And when you want to strike a conversation with other people, we would say small talk is the first choice. Small talk at a party or any other similar situation, that means when you encounter another person, Americans often engage in a kind of conversation they call small talk. The most common topic is the weather. The next common topic is the speaker's current physical surroundings. For instance, the room or the building you are in. And one more is about the communicative style. It's called the table tennis style. The typical conversation between Americans takes the form of called repartee. No one speaks for very long. Speakers take turn frequently, often after a few sentences have been spoken. People from other countries often say, watching a conversation between two Americans is like watching a table tennis game. Americans tend to be impatient with people who talk too much. When we talk to the native speakers of English, try to avoid personal questions because they belong to privacy. And also we have to avoid controversial issues. Politics and religion are thought to be controversial. And discussing a controversial issue or topic can lead to an argument. An argument can easily result in a shouting match, which is considered unproductive and should be avoided. While in a group or a team or a social gathering, we would like to encourage people to be considerate. Most Americans will extend consideration and also expect consideration from their classmates or the people at the party or at a social gathering in terms of noise level, in terms of the manners of using cellular phone, etc. In a group work or teamwork, always ready to contribute whatever you can do and whatever you can contribute. And always be prepared to share whatever you know. Please remember the idea of compromise, which means the people concerned make some concessions to the others. All the people involved give in somewhat for the sake of reaching agreement in case differences occur. Do your Rome as the Romans do. Observe the common rules and comply with the common practice in the host country, such as first come, first served. Take your turn in doing things. Keep to the right. Don't block the view. Ladies first, etc. One more suggestion. Try your best to avoid falling into the stereotypes. It is absolutely incorrect for there to be many stereotypes against the people of different nationalities in terms of the communicative style. Pushing Greeks, shy Chinese, opinionated Germans, emotional Mexicans, Brazilians, Italians, cold British, loud Africans and South Americans. Try your best to avoid falling into the right stereotype as you know clearly where you come from.
When traveling abroad, for example, in the United States, do you have any suggestions for students?
First of all, try to search on the internet for necessary information about the weather, temperature, traffic situation. For instance, in Los Angeles, the public traffic system is generally considered very poor. And also the currency in the local area, and possibly if you can, try to download a digital map from the internet or try to purchase a paper map just in case. Secondly, try to book everything in advance, like hotel, air tickets, train tickets, and try to remember the names of places you'll go to. Don't take it for granted that the names of places in the English-speaking countries are pronounced in the English way. For example, the third largest city in California is spelled Sanjose. It's not pronounced as St. John's, but instead is pronounced in the Spanish way, San Jose. Be aware of the trivial things, which are sometimes not trivial at all. For instance, like pocket money, different time zones in the United States, summertime or daylight saving time, both in the United States and the UK, jet lag, even the way the floor is numbered. For instance, the American first floor is equal to the British ground floor. French fries in the United States is potato chips in the UK. In a word, whenever you are in a difficult situation, you can always ask for help. As the American people say, you've got nothing to lose for the asking.
Chinese students have some good qualities like diligence and patience, but sometimes compared with students from Europe and America, they seem to need more creativity and inspiration. So, do you have any suggestions for them if they want to be outstanding in their foreign studies?
That is a big question. It takes tons of efforts to get a definite answer to it, and the question itself is a very hot topic. It is still a heated discussion and debate among experts, and educators and administrators, particularly in China. What I have here are my personal perspectives, just for your reference. Number one, take the initiatives. Always active positively and actively towards any problem and the questions that you come across during your studies and research. There is always the unknown waiting for you during your learning process. Number two, analysis and synthesis. Learning at different levels is considered not just a process of memorization, as much as you can, of a fixed body of knowledge in the books. It is an enterprise of exploration, experimentation, analysis, and synthesis. Students are encouraged to apply these skills to the process of discovering new knowledge. The next suggestion is stay curious. Whenever students meet with tough questions or a puzzling problem, try to maximize their curiosity and interest. Try to investigate and explore into the resources you can get access to. Do not simply ask the professor for an answer and put an end to it. This is of great use and reference to the students, particularly students from the educational background that rely on memorization and reverent aspects of teachers' words. And one more suggestion is stay suspicious. Try to be independent and critical in your way of thinking and reasoning. Exercise your own judgments. Do not take any assumptions or conclusions or definitions for granted easily, but instead take them with a grain of salt. Try to find loopholes whenever you can. Challenge authorities, including professors. Looking for the facts and weigh the evidence and base your conclusion on your analysis, synthesis, observation, findings, hard facts, and sound evidence.
Now, by the end of this episode, we would like to hear from you your advice and your suggestions to our MOOCs and the words you want to say to our audience.
Sure. This course is entitled Reading and Writing Skills in English, and is developed jointly by Professor Yang Fang and Professor Zhang Wenxia with the help of the colleagues at Tsinghua University. It's your best choice for your English language acquisition, particularly good for improving your basic reading and writing skills. Enjoy it and have fun during your learning process.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.